Look closely at almost any massive cargo vessel or cruise liner navigating the oceans today, and you will notice a bizarre, universal detail. Above the surface, these ships are painted every color imaginable, but below the waterline, almost every single one is painted a bold, rusty red. Today, we have the chemical engineering to produce marine coatings in jet black, neon green, or stark white. Yet the entire maritime industry uniformly defaults to this specific crimson shade. The reason for this strict color palette comes down to a microscopic enemy. As soon as a ship enters the water, marine organisms like barnacles, algae, and shipworms immediately begin attaching to the steel. This biological accumulation is known as biofouling. The industry maintains this universal color as a highly engineered defense mechanism in a multi-billion-dollar war against physics and marine biology. To understand the stakes of that war, you have to look at the physics of frictional drag. When water molecules catch on the rough edges of even a single millimeter of biological slime, it breaks the smooth hydrodynamic flow around the vessel. This animated line graph illustrates the exponential relationship between biofouling and a ship's energy requirements. As the thickness of the biological drag on the hull increases along the bottom axis, the fuel required to maintain a constant speed spikes upward. A heavily fouled hull can force a ship to burn up to 80% more fuel. Watching the graph shift, we can translate that fuel consumption spike directly into operational consequences. That extra drag causes delayed supply chains, massive financial losses, and millions of tons in excess atmospheric carbon emissions. Preventing marine organisms from attaching to the steel is a fundamental economic priority, dictating the efficiency of vessels carrying the vast majority of international cargo. The fight to keep hulls clean stretches back centuries. In the 1700s, crossing the ocean was a slow journey, and a wooden hull was highly vulnerable to being literally eaten alive by wood-boring shipworms. The British Navy eventually found a chemical deterrent. They began nailing thin sheets of copper directly to the bottom of their wooden ships. When copper interacts with seawater, it creates a toxic environment that poisons marine life before it can attach. But the Industrial Revolution introduced a massive complication: the switch from wood to iron hulls. Shipbuilders quickly learned that you cannot simply attach copper sheets to an iron vessel. The salt water acts as an electrolyte, creating a battery between the two metals through a process called galvanic corrosion. The resulting chemical reaction aggressively rusts and destroys the iron. The industry found itself caught in a deadly trap. The only defense against marine biology was actively destroying the structural integrity of their new ships. The solution arrived in 1863. Two American inventors, James Tarr and Augustus Wanson, devised a way to harness the toxicity of copper without the destructive electrical properties of solid metal sheets. They suspended copper inside a thick, tar-based liquid paint. When applied to the hull, this new anti-fouling paint formed a protective physical barrier. It isolated the iron hull from electrical currents while simultaneously leaching toxic copper ions outward into the water, poisoning the barnacles. To make the paint effective, Tarr and Wanson had to use an extremely high concentration of copper oxide, and the natural, unalterable color of heavy copper oxide is a rich, rusty crimson. The crimson hull is the raw, inescapable color of the copper oxide required to isolate copper's toxicity from its electrical conductivity. Modern chemical engineering has moved far beyond the constraints of 1863. Today, we have smart, foul-release silicone coatings that are microscopically slippery and synthetic biocides that don't rely on red copper oxide to function. Yet, the crimson hull persists because of a crucial maritime safety instrument, the Plimsoll line. Also known as the load line, these markings indicate the absolute legal limit a ship can be loaded with cargo before it loses safe buoyancy. This cross-section shows why monitoring that line is difficult. A vessel's draft shifts depending on the water it displaces. Warm or fresh water is less dense, providing less buoyancy, meaning the ship sinks deeper with the exact same cargo. To track those constant fluctuations safely, crews need extreme visibility. Painting the lower hull a bright, stark red against the black or gray of the upper hull creates a highly visible, high-contrast horizon line. Harbor masters and dock workers can instantly verify exactly how deep the ship is sitting from across a port. The red hull endures today as a brilliant, highly visible safety instrument, a 300-year-old monument to human problem-solving hiding in plain sight.